Welcome, everybody, to the Wholesaling Inc. podcast. This is your host, Brent Daniels. And if this is your first time listening to this podcast or watching this on the YouTube channel, welcome. This podcast is the number one podcast when it comes to getting the actual instruction that you need to do wholesale deals. That's why we've been number one. We've got the best audience of all time. If you have been listening to every single episode, welcome back. This interview that I'm going to be doing today is going to be absolutely on fire because I've got a guy here that's done over 300 wholesale transactions with zero marketing budget. Yeah, you heard me right. You're seeing me right. Zero marketing budget, over 300 deals. So without further ado, I want to introduce Mr. Templeton Walker to the Wholesaling Inc. podcast. Say hello.
Brent, appreciate you. What's up, guys? Honor to be here.
So Templeton is, you're an active real estate agent here in Phoenix,
correct.
Right? That's your background. Like, kind of give everybody a little bit of your backstory. Give us an idea of who you are.
5 years in the business.
Yep.
Started as a regular realtor. I didn't know anything. Like, my first sale, I convinced my parents to buy a house that I would rent from them. We show up, there's no lights, no water. I'm like, whose job was this to turn it on? Like, it was my job. Like, I literally didn't know what I was doing.
Yep.
So that's 5 years ago. Fast forward, I grow a pretty successful traditional real estate team, have full operations, about 20 realtors, and we'll sell $60 million a year.
Yep.
So that's great, but I don't spend too much time on that. 2.5 years ago,
Yep.
I learned what wholesaling was, and I was like, oh my God, this is awesome. This is so much better than traditional real estate. But I had already built the traditional side, so I wasn't going to just like get rid of it.
Yep.
So what I did was I leveraged that out, hired amazing people to run it, and then all my time and focus now is spent on wholesaling and flipping houses.
Got it.
So that's been like kind of the 5-year journey. 2.5 years ago, really learning, 3 years ago, really learning what wholesale was. Mm-hmm. Did my first deal and I was hooked.
Got it. Well, same with me. Right. I mean, the first, and you know as well as I do, like, you work as a real estate agent, your average commission is somewhere between $6,000 and $9,000, right? And then you do a wholesale deal that's $40,000
right.
from one conversation or one referral, and we'll get into that. And you're like, oh my gosh, this is so much easier.
Yep.
It was so, I mean, it's cash transactions. It's like fast.
Yep.
There's no inspections, there's no appraisals, there's no lenders. It's like the best, it's the most incredible transaction of all time.
Well, I've heard you say it before. It's kind of like hitting the lotto. And like, I always used to dream about hitting the lotto and but I wouldn't buy tickets, so that was going to be pretty tough to win.
Right.
And then this, Lord knows what I'd do if I didn't have this. Because like, it is the greatest gift I've ever been given if you put in the work.
Sure.
But as to your point, the traditional sale is so regulated and so tough, and you have all these emotions and parties and buyers and sellers, and this was my baby's room and it's blue and they're going to paint it, and it's just like, I want no part of it.
Right.
My first wholesale deal, I took an $80,000 duplex that the guy he wanted out, he needed a solution, so I was going to put my sign in the ground, list it, get 20 offers, and someone was going to do what I should have done.
Yeah.
Right, and I would have probably made $2,000.
Yeah.
Instead, I finally wised up. I'm like, look, I'll buy it. I bought it, moved it on for $100,000, made $20,000. I was like, holy smokes. I don't know if you can cuss on this. Holy smokes.
Yeah.
I was like, this is what I'm doing.
That's it. Yeah.
But solving a problem. I solved his problem. He needed me to do this. Mm-hmm. And it then allowed me to earn 10x what I would have earned if I would just solved it as a realtor.
Yeah. Got it. And did you come from... Like, give us your backstory. You obviously came from, like, a big real estate family, probably a big area. You grew up in, like, a big town. Like, you knew a lot of people, and, you know.
He's being funny.
Yeah.
I am from the Grand Canyon National Park. My town was 1,500 people. Mm-hmm. I had a big graduating class of 32. I averaged, like, 25 a game, and I was the man.
Yep.
And then went to college on a basketball scholarship and averaged like 3 points a game and realized I wasn't the man.
Yep.
Made a baby by Christmas, freshman year. And I was like, shit. So I'm an 18-year-old dad. I need to figure out how to provide. So I started selling. So short story is, no, my parents gave me the best life, but they didn't make much money.
Okay.
We came from a very small town, and I mean, like, I just didn't have the resources that people might think I had.
So you had a baby freshman year of college. Did you graduate?
Nope. Gave it my scholarship. I I always say college was the best semester of my life.
Okay.
It was a good 4 months.
Right.
But no, I moved down here and just started hustling. So I sold cars. Then I pretty much sold everything you could sell.
You're 18, 19 years old.
Yeah. No degree.
Yep.
I've always been charming, high energy, like charismatic. So I was like, I'm going to just sell stuff.
Yeah.
Make friends. So I was good at everything I did that I tried to sell, but I hated it. Like selling cars, like broke my heart. Like I hated how it felt.
Yeah.
Because they were just like clubbing people. I was like, this is awful. Like I wanted no part of it.
Yeah.
Then I sold women's shoes at Nordstrom, which I was very good at.
Yep.
Fun job. I know more about women's shoes than any straight dude should.
Okay.
You need a peep toe, a sling back, a pump. I got you. So anyway, sold women's shoes. Then I got into mortgages, which was my entry into real estate.
Right.
And I was like, oh, I see it now. Like people can make this kind of money. I didn't even realize. Like you don't know what you don't know. Mm-hmm. So mortgages, then rolled into real estate. My Aunt Cindy, for a while I was selling like a multi-level marketing pill. I prospect my Aunt Cindy, who's a successful realtor in Prescott. And I'm like, Aunt Cindy, you got to buy this pill. It's going to change your body from the inside out. She's like, you're an idiot. Mm-hmm. Will you please go to real estate school? If I pay for it, pay me back on your first deal. I'm like, but you're going to buy the pill, right? And she's like, I'll buy the pill because I need about $200.
Yeah.
And then, I just took to it. Like within my second month, I sold 4 homes and made like 17 grand. Yeah. Which I probably the year prior, I didn't even make that in the whole year. I was like, oh my God, I'm doing this. Mm-hmm. So I'm so thankful for traditional real estate because it was my entry. Like everything was always an evolution to my next step. Mm-hmm. And now wholesale is there.
Yeah. I get this question all the time. Should I get my real estate license to be a wholesaler? What's your thoughts?
I don't think it matters. I don't think it hurts you to have it. Okay. Because for me, I put everything through like a moral filter. Mm-hmm. Like everyone wants the deepest deals and this and that. I want to solve the most problems. So like when I go into a house, I give you options. I go, I don't want you to not know what your home's worth. Yeah. I want to tell you all the information and then let you make a choice. Yeah, sure. So for me being licensed, like some people don't like the license because of all the disclosure. I like it because of the disclosure. I go, look guys, your home's worth $250 if we fix it up. I think we can both agree it needs 80 grand to do that. So here's a net sheet. If we were to fix it up, you put the cash in, here's what you'd walk away with. That's a great number, but it would require all of this. Mm-hmm. Here's an as is. I represent you as a realtor with fees. Here's what you'd walk away with. Or here's what I could give you today, cash, as is, no repairs, no commissions. You choose your closing date. Leave what you want to leave. I'll help pay for a mover. And here's that option. Mm-hmm. What works the best for you? So no one can ever say, well, Templeton, tell me my home's worth $250. I told you it's worth $250, and I showed you a roadmap of how to go do that. Got it. But most people, they don't want to go do that. They're in a tough situation because they didn't have the ability to go do that. So as for the licensed, non-licensed, I don't think it matters. It's nice though, like when I want to own a lot of my own homes. So it's nice to earn a commission on stuff like that.
Yeah, but you have a unique niche, okay? And that's what I really wanted to have him on the podcast to talk about is you're not having those conversations too often because other people are locking up these deals and bringing these deals to you, right? Yeah. Most of your business is getting referrals from people, and you do it through social media, really, right? Yeah, so and networking and all this other thing. Right. But go ahead. I mean, this is totally different, guys. If you're listening to this on the podcast, or if you're watching this, or if you want to watch it, go to Brent Daniels Real Estate on YouTube because it's definitely worth the watch. But it is. I mean, you do an incredible amount of social media.
I do.
Instagram,
Facebook, so at Tempe Walker, by the way. Yeah. I just always remind people that, like, hey, this is what I do. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty dang good at it. I entertain. I try to be funny and just be myself because I'm a goofball. Yep. And then I say, send me your deals. Yeah. So I get about 20 to 30 leads a day. A day off people just sending me their deals. And
wait. Break it. From who?
From other wholesalers, from other investors, from mostly real estate agents.
That's it.
Mostly real estate agents.
That's the untapped. I think that is the most untapped resource that people don't realize. I have this like 90-day breakdown of what you should do every day for 90 days. And one of it is talk to at least 3 real estate agents every day.
So mine's 10 a day.
Right.
And I still stick to that. So if I'm in the car, whatever it is, make a relationship with a new realtor, at least 10 a day. Put 10 prospecting calls, 10 little check marks on your paper that you're going to call 10 realtors a day and say, look, do you have a preferred cash buyer? And then they say, oh yeah, I got somebody. Great. Hey, I'd love to be your second option. I'm the largest cash buyer in the state. I want to see anything at all that even smells like a deal that needs a cash offer. Will you save me in your favorites, make them laugh, build rapport? And I'm like, hey, I'm your guy. Don't forget, Templeton. There's not a lot of Templetons. Will you please save my number?
Yep.
Hey, is it okay if I follow up with you in a few weeks? Because most of the time they don't have a deal right now.
Yeah.
Or they tell you about the traditional listings they have on the market.
Of course.
I go, no.
Off market.
Hey, Cindy, I don't want those ones.
Right.
I want the sneaky ones, the ones that are in the cracks. I want the stuff no one knows about, that no one wants to buy because it's rough. You don't even want to send out your photographer. It looks so bad. That's what I want to see. Can you do that for me? And she, I just asked for the business. So now I have this Rolodex of people I've had a conversation with. I send a follow-up text right away and say, thank you so much for the call. Please save my name and number. I'm your cash buyer. Because what you got to understand, if you're a great wholesaler, you are the largest cash buyer in the world.
Yep.
Because it's not your money.
Yep.
It's everyone else's money that you have.
Listen to this. Yep.
So for me,
what does that mean? Like, because you've got all of these buyers that have all of this money. You've got an unlimited amount of money.
I get chills right now thinking about it.
You do?
Dude, I have chills because I have every dollar in the world at my disposal.
Yeah.
All I have to go do is find the correct deal, and then I can say, Brent, man, I have a fantastic deal.
Yep.
So I lock it up A to B, B to C, and then C to D. Your money comes in and performs as my money. So I can make that promise, and I can deliver on that promise if it's a correct deal. So I have, I literally visualize, I have millions of dollars in a bag at my feet at any given moment that I'm ready to give anyone who wants it.
Yep.
I just need the right terms.
That's it.
So anyway, back to the language.
But that's a mindset. I think people starting out or people from a different industry or they've never done real estate, they don't get that concept. It really is a mindset. And I think there's a big difference. And this is something that I've really been looking at, and I love this, is there are people that want deals and there's people that expect deals.
Right.
And I think the expecting comes with the certainty that you have, the belief that you have that you can get these things closed.
Yes.
These deals closed, not these things, these deals closed. And I think having that expectancy, having that certainty, having that belief that you can do it, that's the big difference between you and everybody else in this market.
If you don't believe that you can do it, then you're already wrong. Like you're already deciding that it's not going to happen. And that's just like a mindset thing. Like everybody should read As a Man Thinketh. It's a 40-page book that will change your life. Because if you don't control your thoughts around what you're achieving or chasing, you're screwed from the beginning. So for me, I just know every month I will go do at least 10 deals with $0 in spend because it's going to happen.
Yep.
I trust that I'm going to put in the work, have the conversations, the universe is going to align, God, whatever you want to call it, is going to align, and I'm going to put in the work necessary to go do 10 deals and just make it happen. Like it's going to happen.
Yep.
So, so agents, I believe, are one of the greatest.
I think it's totally untapped. I think also, I really think it's interesting to me because I've been licensed since 2004. I didn't know what wholesaling was until I was in a transaction. You know what I mean? Like I always thought, go get the commission. And I got into real estate to be an investor. I've been like reading every investor book there was. And I was listening to all the audibles. I was going to like, the millionaire real estate agent, the millionaire real estate investor. There was nothing about wholesaling. And if there was, I was totally blind to it.
Right. And if you did all that studying and didn't know about it, how many realtors out there have no idea what to do with a deal?
I don't know how many, and like you, I'll do probably 300,000 this year from referrals from real estate agents.
Yeah.
That's income, right? And when that comes in, it is it's like you get double the deal almost because there's no cost to it.
So for me, just to give you guys an example of how I operate this, anyone who brings me a deal, I give them half of what I earn.
Right.
So I pay very well.
To the agent or the referring partner, whoever brings me the deal. So whatever that looks like this, it's like, hey guys, send me an address. So I get 20 to 30 leads a day. So I get an address and they say, hey Temp, what can you give me on 123 Main Street? Okay.
I go, perfect, let me run it. For the last 2 years, I was comping everything. Now I have a full-time underwriter on my team, Justin, he's incredible. So I send it to him, he underwrites, we give you our buy price. And if it works, let's say we lock it up at 130 and I go sell it at 145. Now I'm going to pay that agent $7,500 for sending me a text. Who else does that? And I'm pumped. People go, oh my God, you're giving up so much. I go, that costs me nothing. So that my return on my 7,500, so my average assignment is lower than a lot of guys, but I have no marketing spend on it. So my revenue is my revenue. Like,
yeah, but what's the biggest deal you've done?
75,000.
75,000.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Can he get me that bell? Can you get him to give me that bell? I need to, I know that this is, but I need to ring the bell for that. But $75,000 from somebody that just just sent you a text or an email. Like, talk to me about that. What was that deal?
So that one was actually a little different because I was on LoopNet all night. I sourced a 32-unit apartment, FSBO, in a very small town.
Yeah.
Called the guy, worked him down to where I needed him, 150. And then
what's LoopNet, real quick?
LoopNet is a great site we all have access to for commercial type real estate.
It's like Zillow for commercial.
Yes. And if you're not looking at that, like for me, I always want to progress. So I'm in wholesale right now. My next goal is to develop and build big projects and own large multifamilies. And I'll always wholesale because I love it.
Yeah.
But you need to always be aspiring for the next thing. So last night I was on LoopNet for 2 hours looking at potential hotels.
Yeah.
Because I would love to own hotels.
Yeah.
Give me that
bell. Let me have that bell. Hold on. 75,000. Ring that bell.
I love it. I didn't know if that was too loud.
That was perfect.
So yeah, I solved a problem. I moved it on, and here's what I did. I went out. I got bids on the project. I solved like maybe 5 hours worth of problems.
Yeah.
Put it in a package so an end investor could make sense of it. This person had been trying to sell this for 6 months and couldn't. I went in, put some bids together, I got some stuff done with the city. Honestly, maybe 5 hours worth of work for $75,000.
Incredible.
So that's what I really like to do.
What's your average size deal?
My average deal
that you keep? Because everybody listening here is like, oh, okay, well, if I'm splitting it with them, I'm not exactly sure how that goes. And do you have to be a real estate agent to split those?
We're at about $8,700.
Is what you get?
Me. So my average assignment right now is about $16,000, $17,000.
Love it.
And I'm giving you half.
Yep.
So if you're sending me a deal, your average is going to be about the same as mine. Typically, I'm about $8,000.
Yep.
So and I have no marketing spend on that. And my other company, Templeton Group, they're kind of one and the same. So my office building is covered by that company. My assistant, my transaction manager, my disposition is actually an agent for me. So it's like, it's a highly profitable business.
Yeah.
Because I don't have a ton of expense.
Well, and you have a whole team now to be able to manage all this. But and if you'll allow me to tell the audience, your superpower, just from my experience, is he's available. Yeah. Like he's accessible from a certain time in the morning to a certain time at night, and then you shut it down.
Yeah.
You're not a go out party guy.
No.
You're not a crazy. I mean, this is probably from having a kid at 18, right?
Well, I had my time.
Yeah, sure.
But
you spend time with the family. Family time's like super important to you. But the time that you are on.
Well, I realized that I can get more done if I work with intention than most people can in 2 days. Yep. I can get done in 4 hours.
I totally believe that. I know that of you. Yeah.
So it's 100% selfish because if I'm not working, I want to be with my wife and kids. Like I have 3 little boys. I play soccer with them. I coach their stuff. Like they're my life. Mm-hmm. So if I'm going to take time away from them, I better be getting some stuff done.
Yep.
So I just started to realize. I looked at my day and I had a guy follow me around for 2 days and tell me my day. And he goes, dude, you're losing about 6 hours a day on appointments that don't matter, driving in the car, doing whatever. So now my dad, he works for me now. He's retired and helps me out with my whole business. Mm-hmm. He drives. I'm in the passenger seat, trapped in this car, looking for deals. Mm-hmm. I'm working. So I have very little dead space in my day anymore. Because when I get home, I want to shut it down. And it's not to say I don't answer a text here and there. If it's a hot deal, honey, can I take this call? She gets it.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it is family time, go time.
Yeah. Well, and I think the intentional part is so huge because we have a lot of people listening that are in full-time jobs.
Yep.
They literally are making calls like during their lunch hour.
Right.
They're literally making calls during, as soon as they get off of work. They're teachers. They're in the military.
Right.
They're engineers. They're working in all these different industries, and they only have a certain amount of time. And I tell everybody, get everything set up so that all of the other creative avoidance is out of the way, because that'll sneak up and just snatch up your day.
Oh, always.
And just press go. You should have 5 real estate agents that you should reach out to. I know with my team, we talk to people, we TTP real estate agents on realtor.com that put themselves in as work with investors.
Yeah.
They do. I mean, it's a little thing there, and you can literally go there. All their phone numbers are there. Of course they're all there. They all want business. You can reach it. You can pick up the phone and call them, and if you didn't have your license, let's say you don't have your license. Let's say this is your first deal ever.
Yep.
Let's say that you're teaching anybody. Now, let's just say it's you. What would you say to that person? You look online, you're on realtor.com, you got a phone number, you press it, you press send.
I'm calling that person.
Yes.
I would say, hey, my name is Templeton.
Yep.
I want you to know, here's how I would say it.
Yep.
I'd say, hey, let's say it's you're the agent.
Yep.
Hey, Brent, my name's Templeton Walker. How are you today?
Yep.
Great. Hey, do you have any cash buyers that you refer your deals to?
Mm-hmm.
They say yes, no, maybe so. If they say yes, I go, great. I'd love to be your second option and earn my way into your first place. If you don't, I'd go, perfect. Save my number.
Love it.
I'm actually the largest cash buyer. And I've never done a deal, right? And here would be my language. I'm the largest cash buyer in the entire state. I want to see every deal that you come across. And they're going to start telling me about their traditional listings. I'm going to go, Brent, not the ones on the market unless they have some motivation.
Right.
I want to see the stuff that's off market that you know about, that's a little distressed, rough.
Needs some love.
Yeah, and they're looking for a cash offer.
Yep.
I want to be the guy that you call. Here's how I do business as well. Any money I earn on the investment, I'm going to give you half. Is that fair? Perfect. Save my number in your favorites. That would be, I would make that phone call until my fingers were bleeding if I had to go open a new market.
Right.
And here's what I do. So, and then what else I would do, because scarcity is this weird thing. Like there's this story about a father and son, they're scuba diving, and the father's air tank goes out, and he grabs his son's air tank to put it in his own mouth. From his own son, who he loves, cares about. When you're in a scarcity mindset, you don't make rash decisions. You don't make good decisions.
Yeah.
You make bad decisions. So what I would do, and this is how I got started in real estate, I went and took a job from 5 a.m. till noon as the front desk guy at a personal training studio making $9 an hour, which was awful. But that $9 an hour allowed me to put food on the table. Well, then from noon to 1, I would lift weights. And then from 1 till I fell asleep, usually at midnight, I did real estate. And I closed 4 or 5, 6 transactions before I got rid of that job. So if I'm brand new, I'm going to find a job that allows a schedule for me to make some money and take a step backwards to take 3 steps forward. So figure out how to work that 5 a.m. to noon schedule. So you still, because what if your day starts at 1? You could still go put in a 10-hour day.
Of course.
So, or drive Lyft, drive Uber, do something to keep food or to keep money in your pocket so you don't start thinking crazy thoughts. Because when you have no money, that's when the corporate world, you know what, benefits and a salary would be so great. Man, if I just made 45 grand a year, you know, I'd be happy. And that's where dreams go to die, in my opinion. Unless that makes you happy, great. So go find a job that pays you enough money to survive, that has a schedule that allows you to go chase this down. And then I'd go have that conversation I just said, the language I said. I would have that until I passed out. And then I would also go to every meetup, every real estate investment thing. And I would find someone like me or you or a bigger player in the space. And so like a guy named Jeff right now, full-time x-ray tech. He went to school to do it. He makes pretty good money. But I think we've all been in that experience where you start making like good money at 21, 22, and then when you're 28, 29, you're like, oh, that's actually not good money. So he's there. So he's like, he wants to change his life. Reaches out to me, says, what can I do? I teach him the exact system that TTP has, that, you know, what we're doing, right? We got to talk to people and have this conversation. So he's been doing that. In his first 2 months, he's going to earn $5,000 on a deal next week and $7,500 on another deal. That's $12,500 for a regular...
From referrals?
Yeah, just from that splitting deals with me.
Oh.
Just get... All he's doing is teeing it up for me. I go take care of it.
Yeah.
And then he gets a check.
Yeah.
So where I'm headed with this is you can have a job if you leverage through the correct connections and people and bring value. Where people make a mistake is they get a deal and they get greedy and they go, I want the whole thing and I got to do everything, and then the deal can't get to the finish line. Go find someone who knows how to get the deal done and give them your first 4 or 5 and say, help me, teach me, please get this to the finish line and give me the revenue. So now he's able to still work his job, take care of his new baby and his daughter and his wife, and go make an additional $12,500 in his first 60 days.
He's going direct to the seller?
So
he's finding deals?
He's calling agents.
Yes.
And then I also supplied him with a vacant list that he's sending handwritten notes to.
Yeah.
And he's also calling on, because I have callers and just, I have since then I've done a merger.
Yeah.
And we have like trying to go direct to seller deals,
Yeah.
but that's like the last 2 weeks, so I don't know if it works or not.
Yeah.
So I'll only talk about what I know it works.
Sure.
So we've been giving him lists and he's been calling.
But he got those deals from agents.
Yes, from agents.
Incredible.
Agent referral.
And part-time.
Super part-time. He has a full-time job and kids and...
I did an interview with one of my TTP students, Jenny.
Yeah.
She had her second baby, right? Military wife. So her husband's, off and out and about. It's a crazy schedule, and she would make calls while the baby was napping. Got a $34,000 deal.
See, that's where this business can be magical.
It's a cash machine.
But it's the classic, 3 inches from gold metaphor.
Sure.
Because you don't know what phone call or what connection or what letter or what relationship is going to lead to that. Mm-hmm. And if you give up too soon... That's it. Because I've also seen people struggle for 4 or 5 months and blow up in their 6th month and have a $40,000 month, right? But you don't know when it's going to come. But if you're doing the right things, surrounding yourself with the right people... I would suggest bringing value to the movers and shakers in your
100%
in your market.
Yep.
And getting around them as quick as possible and bringing value, and you'll be fine.
Yep. Well, the first 3 deals that I did, I lost $92,000. I lost. It was really, I earned it back because I saw what they were doing with these trends. Because I sold it as an agent to a wholesaler, and they marked it up $40,000, $40,000, and $12,000. Yep. $92,000 later, I'm like, what is this wholesaling? And then they were like, this is what you do. And I was like, and now millions of dollars later.
So know this, every deal needs 2 things in my opinion. You need the deal and you need the money.
Yep.
I had no money, so I got really good at finding deals. So I'm an agent and I would be online, just how I'm on LoopNet every night. I like hunting. I like hunting for deals, figuring things out. I would send a property over to my team lead at the time, who I didn't know had just a wholesale connection. They would pay me 1% of a commission, and I'm the one finding it, and then they'd go earn crazy money, just like happened to you.
Yep.
That had to happen to me 2 times before I realized. I was like, oh,
got it.
Okay, I understand now.
But that's like, in my mind, it's like it's like student loans.
No, and I'm not even mad about it because it was my entry into it, and it was my path, and I'm so thankful for the $2,300 check that I would get back then. I was like, I sent an email, made $2,300. That's incredible. However, my evolution came into play, and I was like, oh, I can do what they do, or I can bring value to them and ask for my fair share. Say, hey, give me half, or whatever that is.
Love it. So let's give them instruction here. That's what this whole podcast is about. That's what our whole platform, that's what the whole YouTube channel is about, instruction. So on a daily basis, what would you instruct somebody just starting out to do?
Well, first off, get to the gym, get your mind right, cold shower, get primed up. We don't all wake up motivated and inspired. It's something you need to work at.
Got it.
So if you don't have the right mindset to crush your morning, you got to figure that out. That's just a life thing. Now you're in the right mental state to get to work. So for me, on a tactical wholesale standpoint, I would make at least 10 phone calls to agents every day with the language I said earlier so they can rewind and listen to that.
Yep.
I would call I'd get on social media and I would figure out every wholesaler, every flipper. You can also pull cash sales, skip trace those through batch, skip tracing, get those phone numbers and call them and say, hey guys, tell me what you're looking for when you're looking for deals. So now I have agents bringing me deals. I have flippers on the back end. I understand what they want to buy and you connect the dots.
Love it.
Right? So really what I would do is I'd go to every meetup, every event I possibly humanly could, and I would make phone calls until I was nauseous. I would just talk to people and say, hey.
TTP.
Yeah, weird. But do it with the correct language. Don't waste time. Go in and bring value, solve problems, come from a place of
expect that they're going to work with you. Honestly, expect that these agents are going to work with you. If they don't, that's fine. There's thousands. You're going to find the right stable of real estate agents that are going to bring you deals, but expect that they're going to work with you. If you go in there hesitant, they can sniff it out so fast.
Agents too are pretentious, dick in the butt people, right? They're I am a real estate agent and I'm better than you.
Mm-hmm.
So, not all of them. But so you're going to get those phone calls, though, where they're like, well, you don't need to talk to those people. Then leave them alone. On to the next. Every no, just like every sale, every no, you're closer to a yes. But you're going to connect with, out of those 10 agents, you're going to connect with 5 that are down to earth, happy to talk to you. Yes. Hey, Brent, that's awesome. I'd love to send you my deals. Save you my number. Great. Is there anything I can do for you before we get off the phone? No, I'm always looking for referrals. Hey, if I have anything traditional and I'm unlicensed, I'll send it your way.
Love it.
Value-based.
And the other thing that you do that I want to hit on before we wrap this up is, how many times a week do you think that you post on Instagram and Facebook, send me your deals?
Oh my God. I mean,
how many times? And not only that, you're walking through with your Instagram, you're showing the deals that you're doing, you're showing some of the flips that you're doing, because you do a lot of flips, you're doing a lot of the properties that you're buying and holding, you're doing a lot of these things.
What I do with my Instagram stories is like show you my day, show you my life, talk to you.
Yep.
Like behind the scenes. And on there,
by the way, sprinkled in, send me your deals.
Oh, send me your deals is on there at least 5 times a day, 7 days a week. So, I don't know. I'm not a mathematician. I think that's 35. Yeah. So 35 times a week there.
Isn't that obnoxious? Don't people get mad at you?
No, but I'm entertaining them. Like I bought that Cadillac last night at midnight, and my thing is, if you're in real estate, don't force feed people the minutia of like, hey guys, I got a 3-2 and it's pretty spectacular and I'd love for you to come take a look. It's like, make a dance video in the rain, be funny, and then go, oh, by the way, send me your deals.
Right.
Like, make people laugh, make them engage, something they want to see, and then, oh, by the way, send me your deals. Like, this is...
But that only makes you look like a clown if you don't pick up your phone.
Right.
If you don't respond. If people reach out to you and they're like, what is wrong with this guy?
So, and the other thing is be proficient at what you're doing.
Yeah.
You're not going to know exactly what you're doing in the beginning, but find somebody that you can tie to and now actually handle what you're asking for.
Love it.
Because for me, it's tough to be a goofball and, wear funny stuff, like be how I am if I wasn't good at what I did.
Yep.
So, yeah, man, send me your deals. It's only obnoxious if you're not bringing value. Here's one last thing I'll say on social media. Are you posting for you or are you posting for them? Because so many people post to stroke their own ego and to say, hey, look at me. Where I want to post value like, hey, can this help someone? Can I touch someone's heart and help them feel better today? And if you do that, people will engage and like your stuff.
Love it.
Right.
Absolutely. And you buy a lot of properties.
I buy. So that's the other thing. I've made, again, great connections and relationships. So I have one of the best lenders here in town that I have paid a lot of bills to every month on time, that hard money lender. So I can close same day. So if I tell you I'm going to close and I give you a number, I'll buy the house.
Right.
And that usually ends up being my flips if I can't move them on wholesale. My filter goes like this. I want to buy and hold it and cash flow it.
Yep.
If I can't do that, I want to wholesale it. If I can't do that, I want to flip it. If I can't do that, I want my real estate team to list it. And if we can't do that, it's not a deal for us.
Beautiful.
So,
and you're keeping some properties around colleges, right?
So
touch on that a little bit because you're getting more cash flow. This isn't wholesaling, but this is a nice tip. We'll stay on here for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
You're buying properties and you're renting them out per room.
Per room. So you guys look at things and figure out how you can create a solution. So around universities, kids are in dorms. Colleges are a racket. They pay way too much money for a terrible living situation. So I take single family homes that would rent for $1,200, $1,300. I rent them per room for about $600, $700 a room. So now a 4-bedroom will almost give me $3,000 a month instead of $1,200. The cash, the return's over 20% plus the appreciation. And what I do is I cherry pick a wholesale. I do a BRRRR strategy, which we're not going to get into all that, but BRRRR strategy, I get all my cash back plus the cash flow. So I have equity, no cash in the deals most of the time, and unreal cash flow. So the last thing I'll say is I've seen people in this game for 20 years, and the guys that are still having to hustle around for deals, they didn't buy stuff.
100%.
They didn't buy and hold stuff when they had great deals.
Yeah.
So if you're doing...
Their only source of income is getting deals.
Yeah, so they have to keep hustling, and that's fine, but wouldn't you rather have 10, 15, 20 grand a month coming in off of assets that you get to leverage against?
100%.
So
100%.
If you're doing 10 deals a month, take 1 or 2 of them and own them.
Yep.
There's plenty of money.
Plenty. Yeah. Love it. And really, guys, what this all comes down to is it's the philosophy of my business. It's the philosophy, I think, of everybody. I believe the overall philosophy that you need to have, and if you have this, you're going to win, and you're going to win unbelievably, is talking to people every single day. TTP does not just mean talking to homeowners or property owners. It means talking to agents. It means talking to other wholesalers. It means be out there. Every day you should be exhausted. I mean, exhaustion is the best pillow. You should be exhausted as you're building your business up, because you're talking to more people than you ever thought was possible. You had never been trained on talking to strangers. You had never been trained to talk to distressed property owners, but you do it slowly, and you build it up, and you build it up, and you build it up, and you hustle, and you be accessible, and you really make this a must for you. If this is a must, if you must succeed in this business, you will. If you want to, you won't. I'm telling you, the want, get rid of it. You must. You have to have that certainty, right? You have to expect to win, and you must want to be a superstar real estate wholesaler, or what's the point?
Go all in.
Yep.
Go all in.
That's it.
There's nothing in life worth doing halfway.
All right.
So go all in.
Yeah, that's it. And the beautiful thing about the people that we're talking to and the people that are watching this is 99.9999999% of the people are never going to come to this channel, never listen to this podcast. But the people that do are people like you and I, right, that have that pilot light inside of them, that want to be an entrepreneur, that don't want to have the average life, that want to be successful entrepreneurs.
The person listening to this, taking the time to better themselves and listen to this, and especially if they're an hour in with us, that's the person that's going to succeed.
Yeah.
They're hearing this right now.
Yeah.
So now go take massive action.
Yeah.
You got to make a decision that this is going to happen.
Awesome. Love it.
Dude.
Thanks for being on the channel. This is awesome. And if you guys are ready to join the most proactive group in real estate investing, go to wholesalinginc.com/TTP. That's wholesalinginc.com/TTP. Scroll down, check out what the program's all about. Keep scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, and look at all the testimonials. Nobody has more testimonials. If it feels good in your gut, sign up for a call. Love to work with you personally. Until next time, guys, I love you, and go talk to people. See ya.